You woke up this morning already tired. You got 7 hours, maybe 8, and it didn't matter. You still opened your eyes with the specific heaviness of someone who owes the world something and can't remember what. You reached for your phone before your feet touched the floor, and somewhere in the first 90 seconds of being conscious, you saw a person your age who owns a house, a person your age who is thriving, and a person your age who is telling you that if you just woke up at 5 a.m., you could be them. That's the tired. It isn't sleep. It's the feeling of running a race you didn't enter on a track that keeps getting longer while a stranger films you from the finish line. Here's the first thing worth knowing. You are not imagining this, and you are not weak. Nearly every metric we have on young people's well-being has moved in the same direction over the last 15 years. Loneliness up, anxiety up, life satisfaction down, across multiple countries with different cultures, different politics, and different healthcare systems. When the same pattern shows up in Canada and Japan and Britain and Chile at the same time, the explanation is not that an entire global generation independently developed a character flaw. It's that something in the environment changed, and it changed faster than anything about being human changed. So start with the most concrete thing, the one that isn't a feeling. The math of a life has broken. For most of the 20th century, in most developed countries, there was an implied deal. Get a job, work it, and the basic architecture of an adult life, a home, a family if you want one, some savings, a stable place to stand, would be within reach on a normal income. That deal has quietly stopped clearing. House prices in major cities have pulled away from wages so far that in many places the gap is no longer a gap, it's a different category of thing entirely. A generation ago, a house cost a few years of median income. In a lot of cities today, it costs a couple of decades of it. And you can't out-hustle a decade. You cannot budget your way across a chasm. The old advice, cut back, save harder, be patient, assumed the finish line was moving at walking speed. It's now in a car. And because that one deal broke, everything downstream of it broke too, quietly, in ways nobody announced. Moving out got later. Long-term relationships got later. Having kids, if you want them, got later or got dropped. Not because your generation stopped wanting those things, surveys consistently show most young people still want them, but because every one of them is gated behind a stability that arrives, if it arrives, in your mid-30s instead of your early 20s. You didn't cancel adulthood. It got postponed and nobody told you the new date. Then comes the part that's harder to see, because it doesn't look like a problem. It looks like a phone. Consider what happened to comparison. For all of human history, you compared yourself to the people in your village, a few hundred people, most of them roughly as poor and confused as you were. Your brain evolved for that. Status is not a vanity thing, it's a survival instinct, a way of knowing where you stand and whether you're safe. Now that instinct wakes up every morning and gets fed a curated highlight reel of the 8 billion best moments on Earth. Not 8 billion people, 8 billion peaks. The engagement of a person you went to school with, the apartment of a stranger, the body of someone whose entire job is that body. Your brain does not know these are strangers, and it does not know these are peaks. It just registers over and over, all day, everyone is doing better than you. That's not a thought you're having, it's an input you're receiving, thousands of times a week, from a machine specifically optimized to keep delivering it. And it is optimized. That's the part people still soften. The apps competing for your attention are not neutral tools that happen to be fun. They are the product of thousands of engineers running millions of experiments to find whatever keeps you scrolling, and it turns out that what keeps humans scrolling is not what makes them feel good. It's what makes them feel almost good, or slightly wronged, or a little bit envious, or urgently outraged. Contentment is terrible for engagement. A person who feels satisfied puts the phone down. The system therefore selects, relentlessly and without any villain sitting in a chair deciding it, for content that leaves you subtly unsatisfied. You are not addicted to your phone because you are weak. You are losing a fight against a machine that has run more experiments on human attention than every psychologist in history combined. But here's the piece that gets missed, and it might be the biggest one. While all that was happening, the physical world where you used to exist with other people was quietly dismantled. Sociologists have a name for the places that aren't home and aren't work. The third place. The pub, the diner, the plaza, the church hall, the park bench, the mall you loitered in as a teenager. Places where you could go with no money, no plan, and no invitation, and simply be around other humans. Those places have been closing for decades. Some of them died because everything now costs money and hanging out became a purchase. Some died because cities were designed around cars, so there is no walkable somewhere to walk to. Some died because the third place moved online, and the online version has ads. The result is a genuinely strange arrangement. You can talk to anyone on Earth, and there is nowhere to go. Loneliness is not a personal failure in an environment where the architecture of togetherness has been demolished and replaced with a subscription. Add work to it. The job you have, if you have one, likely doesn't end. There's no factory whistle. Your work follows you home in your pocket and calls itself flexibility. Meanwhile, the actual relationship between you and the employer has thinned to almost nothing. The implied lifetime deal is gone, replaced with contracts, gigs, restructurings, and the constant background awareness that you are one quarterly report away from a calendar invite. So you're expected to be always available to an institution that is never obligated to you. And when that arrangement makes you tired, you're offered a mindfulness app. And then, on top of all of it, the news. Your nervous system was built for local threats: a snake, a storm, a rival tribe over the ridge. It was built to receive maybe a handful of genuinely alarming things in a lifetime. It now receives every catastrophe on the planet, in real time, optimized for emotional impact, and mixed in between a friend's birthday and an advert for shoes. Wars, collapses, disasters, the climate, the economy, all of it arriving in the same tone, in the same feed, from the same rectangle you also use to text your mother. You cannot act on almost any of it. That's the crucial part. The human stress response exists to produce action, and there is no action. So it just sits there, doing what stress does when it has nowhere to go, which is corrode. Put those together and something clicks into place. It's not that your generation is fragile, and it's not that older generations are lying about how it used to be. It's that a specific set of things happened at once, and they happened faster than culture could metabolize them. In roughly 2 decades, the price of a stable life detached from what a normal job pays, the comparison instinct got wired directly into a global feed, the attention economy weaponized the very machinery of your motivation, the physical spaces where people met each other emptied out, the job stopped ending, and the world's entire supply of bad news got piped into your hand. Any one of those is a serious societal problem. All 6 at once, arriving during the exact years a human being is supposed to be figuring out who they are, is not a mental health crisis. It's an environment. And we keep treating an environmental problem as a personal one, which is why every proposed solution sounds so insulting, because it is being aimed at the wrong target. Cold showers do not fix a housing market. Gratitude journaling does not rebuild a third place. Discipline does not outcompete an algorithm. Which is not to say nothing helps. It's to say that the honest version of what helps starts by naming the thing correctly. Almost everything that actually moves the needle for people is, in some form, a small act of stepping partly out of the machine, putting distance between yourself and the comparison feed, spending unmonetized time with actual humans in actual rooms, making something with your hands that no algorithm rates, or finding the version of a third place that still exists in your city and going there even when it's awkward. Not because those things fix the housing market, they don't, but because they interrupt the specific mechanism that is converting a systemic problem into a private feeling of personal failure. That conversion is the trick. That's the part that's doing the damage. The system is not going to tell you it's the system. It's going to tell you it's you and then sell you the fix. So go back to this morning. You opened your eyes and felt behind. Behind on money, behind on life, behind on some invisible timeline you never actually agreed to. Notice what that timeline is made of. It's the housing prices of a market you didn't build, the milestones of strangers you'll never meet, the metrics of a machine that profits from you feeling not quite enough, and the exhaustion of being permanently reachable in a world where there is nowhere left to go.